Alright. Alright. So I'm back. What? Um, looking a little bummy. Do you ever feel like you have to dress down to go out? Like, cause I'm trying to do laundry today, and normally, like, I don't know, it's hot. I'm in the South. I wear, like, just like a house dress, which I have worn out before, but it kind of gets a little more attention than I want. And it's not even like risque, but I mean, it's slinky and it hugs the curves. And I'm just not trying to have looks like that right now. I'm just bumming. Um, I don't know. I guess that's not really dressing down. I'm sure. I don't know. Like I grew up in an island household, so I'm used to people just walking around in their undies, no shirts. You know what I mean? So it's just be free. I'm not that free. And I guess I know people like women who wear like negligees and stuff around the house. I'm not one of those, but I like being comfortable. And I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I wasn't trying to dirty up more clothes when I'm trying to do laundry, but I didn't want to wear the dress out. So, anyways, I am bumming today, but gotta stay glossed up while I'm looking at it. Ooh. I like a little shine to the lips. Well, I don't know, especially with the new do, like without earrings or something, sometimes it just feels so mannish. Um, like I just look boyish. I don't know, it's not like the most terrible thing in the world. I don't probably make a cute boy. But I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I don't, there's this whole, have you heard Genderfluid? Where I know that there are people who are like, well, sometimes I feel like a boy, so that's when I dress more like a boy, or sometimes I feel like a girl, so that's when I dress more like a girl. I never really looked at it like that. I mean, I do dress for how I feel. Like, when I was dancing hip hop, there's like a hip hop outfit, with my sweatpants and LL Cool J style, one leg pulled up. But, yeah, I don't. I never really like thought of it so much as like more masculine versus feminine. It was just like the energies that I wanted for the day. But I've always been kind of a metaphysical cat, if you will. Which, yeah, also got me thinking. So my little experiment here, I don't know, like, I'm not doing this experiment just to, talk about decisions with my family and things like that. Nah, man, I'm here to talk about some crazy, wild ideas. Or what I think are, like, crazy and wild. And they're probably not even that crazy and wild. They'll get progressively so, I suspect, as I give myself permission to really run with it. But I'm like, okay, these past 2 years of kind of dibble dabbling, basically to be saying the same thing, like, oh, I'm just so nervous about like putting myself out there. And yeah, I mean that's true. But like, who do I think I am? Who do I think is watching these videos? Like, oh, all of a sudden, I've Leslie has spoken, and so now like the walls will come crashing down and the mountains will move. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, and I'm being dramatic and sarcastic for a reason because that's the only reason I can understand why I bought into that fear tape so strongly. And that sounds pretty ridiculous, right? Like, as I say this out loud, but either I seriously was thinking that somewhere, which no judgment. If I was, I was, but like, let's talk this out. This is some soundboarding. Let's hear just how that sounds, Les. Like, does that is are you that wonderful? Are your thoughts that great? Let's explore this a little bit further, because I'm sure we can uncover some other things that perhaps we don't want to admit, right? because I know we have some judgments on, you know, other people that we see doing their darndest and giving their little E for effort, right? And don't we sometimes think like, oh, that's what you're talking about? Oh, that's so we got some judgments. So I would suspect that someone doesn't want people to judge them that way. They don't want the others to think their thoughts are kind of silly or like, oh, bless your heart, that's what you're talking about. I mean, because if we're saying that, then I can understand how you'd be like, good golly, Miss Molly, why have you been talking about the same thing for 2 years? It's like, okay, stop trying to hit me and hit me. Like, let's stop trying to talk about it and talk about it. So this is some of the stuff, like, right? I didn't think I had those judgments. I thought I was like, oh, I'm all love and light and I love people. I love people. I really do. I really do. But I also really don't. I really don't. I really don't understand their logic. And I say that fully aware that, like, as I say things that I express some of the things that I believe in, maybe some people will look at me like I don't understand their logic. But, like, I should be comforted in the fact that, like, for the most part, no one's really going to say anything about it. And if they do, like, that really is a their thing that they feel like they need to say something. Because, you know, for all the things that I might have thought about other videos or things that I saw, like, oh, I could do that, or, oh, it's like, yeah, I could do that, but when it came down to it, right, like, I was like, oh, my I think that's a little interesting thing to note. And then too, right? Like, so say this does take off into something. That doesn't happen overnight, man. Like, for nobody. For I don't care how great your manifestation abilities are and how perfectly timed and right place, right person, right meetup, right. None of that happens like that. It's not like, oh, it's overwhelming. How did it get like this? It builds up, you know, and at any point you could be like, whoa, I'm not trying to do all of that work. That's probably where I'm at right now. It's like, oh, it's really all this work. Is it all that work? You press record. You start talking. I know that my thoughts are also like, well, what do I talk about? Girl, you know you can talk about anything. Honestly, I'm even thinking about, like, because I'm always just writing little bits of random things on little bits of paper and cards, and I keep thinking I'm going to organize them, and wouldn't that just be kind of fun if I just had them in, like, a box? And then as I do these, I'll just be like, pull it out. And then whatever it triggers, that's what I talk about. You know, I also think there's going to be like a margin of error. Like this trial and error. Like, what is this project? What is this backs to the middle? Am I going to blog about it? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the recording aspect. And so maybe this takes a little bit of time before maybe this is some crawl before you walk type stuff. Which I'm okay with. Because at the same time as I'm watching the movie, whatever's supposed to flip and happen is gonna flip and happen. That's why I'm also like, what are you freaking out about? Like, so I know that there's this pressure I'm putting on myself. Like, so in the Gene Keys, like my archetype, play Akasha game. My archetype is literally the voice, right? I was showing you human design. My one channel is the 1156. Like, I really am built this way to talk. Now, I know the other pressure is like, well, what is this going to turn into? Maybe, if I start the blog, maybe that's when the book will develop, or maybe, I don't, there's a whole lot of maybes, baby, but it's just like, what if I just do the steps? Whatever it yields or leads to, stop trying to think about that. All I know is that I've been getting a message to do some videos, talk to people. Now I have all these, well, does it need to look like this, or it needs to sound like this? And it's like, then I've spent this past couple years of like, no, however you do things is fine. Do you, boo. Be who you are. You are uniquely created and designed to be all that you can be. And yet you are all that you are and all that you ever could be. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of ideas swimming around, and like so close to wanting to come out and be shared. Okay, hello. Is anybody on top of this Ghislaine, Ghislaine, Maxwell, Ms. Maxwell? Epstein's girl, yo, talk about some booms. Ish is about to hit the fan. But then even that, like, that whole, like, if the stuff that I, like, be researching and studying on about, you know, the dark forces of this world, and how they have infiltrated music and education and politics and, oh, just so much. The entertainment factor is kind of a big deal. I'm just like, how do these folks have time to do half of this evil stuff? I mean, I believe it. There's a lot of evidence that seems to really support it, but I'm also like, okay, I really have to stretch my imagination and my understanding to really consider that stuff is valid. Oopsies. I do need to still do the alarms, because you know what else I'm trying to manifest? I'm gonna manifest if I could get one of these darn laundry machines. It used to be just get in there before 10 a.m., but apparently everybody thought of that today. But anyways, yes, I'm gonna try and get in on that. Anyways, I'm sure this is pretty good. I've stopped doing. Oh yeah, but like. Well, yes, I was talking about Ms. Maxwell and how all that, child, all that's been, But as this stuff, like, which I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, but as this stuff starts to really hit the fan, it is kind of like, how is there even time? I can hardly do, like, basic, simple stuff. Like, I'm amazed by people who have children and spouses. I just don't. I don't know, that party up lifestyle. I was thinking about that too when you're thinking, it's like when you have that, like, anything you could ever want to be, you already have and you already are, that whole we're all the blanket kind of a thing. I was like, I wonder if that, it's like, say somebody wants to be like a celebrity, and really, right, they want the money and the lifestyle that the money affords them, they think. But it's like, as you start thinking, and it's like, do I really want all those people pulling on me all the time? Like, I couldn't go anywhere. Everybody would be taking pictures, and, every move, every word is scrutinized. Everything you've ever put in print is, like, can be held against you. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need celebrity status. I was like, well, is that because I already have been, I already was, and I knew what that lifestyle was like, and therefore I'm like, yeah, I don't really need that. And then that's why enlightenment is just kind of like, yeah, you just like owned out all the time. Like, there would be no reason to get excited or frustrated or upset, because you just want to engage in half of that nonsense, I think. Anyways, I digress. I was trying to finish that thought, but yeah, the basic thought is, like, I have more crazy things. Well, they're not even crazy. I don't even think they're that crazy, but I have other things I want to talk about. And I don't know how I need to do this. If I'm going to just, like, I need to give myself, even 10 minutes a night or whatever, but, like, I need to start just talking. And it's not even, like, people call content. Oh, I don't even want, like, all the words that people have for all of these, they're the words because they're necessary to, like, communicate and understand. But when I think of content, I think of, like, something that I'm trying to market and sell. And so, maybe it's me and my definitions for sure. But, Dr. Carlson, Professor Carlson, he wasn't a doctor, but Professor Carlson, the Don. Language shapes thought. And yeah, that's probably why I like so many made-up words. Anyways, well, this was good. I feel good about it, and I'm going to call it, and I'll figure out the music thing. That's more actually, That's more actually like, okay, the copyright stuff, but it's like, okay, because I was looking it up, you know, if you do that little blurb, like, oh, I don't own any rights to this music, that doesn't do anything, I guess, except make you feel better, but it doesn't do anything. You're still utilizing the music without permission. Um, but, like, I'm not trying to profit from it or do anything like that, which, I mean, doesn't matter in principle. But, like, if I do the music at the beginning, at the worst, they'll just mute out the music. Now, since I always do that just in the beginning, I mean, like, the worst is I'll just look kind of goofy while I'm, like, lip syncing or whatever. But I already look kind of goofy lip syncing while the music's playing, so haha. So I probably will continue to do it because it's not like it's anything malicious, and I don't think the repercussions are bad. I guess at the worst, they'll send me a letter. Don't use it, and I gotta take down the video. But then I could just edit out the beginning, which I'm sure is not hard, but I haven't figured that out anyways. Anyways, I do my digression thing yet again, and I'm worried that I'll have nothing to talk about. Okay, have a great day.